So, yeah, short week to prepare for this week's with Thanksgiving Thursday. So, yeah, Thanksgiving game for the Lions, the yearly tradition. Of course, Green Bay's coming to town this year. First time since 2013 that the Lions and the Packers have met on Thanksgiving. Yeah, it's been 10 years since they last met on Thanksgiving. Been that long. Even a lot of fans are probably going to be surprised by that because for the longest time, usually Detroit and Green Bay have always met on Thanksgiving. But yeah, 10 years, damn. But yeah, of course, we're going to talk about the Thanksgiving game and see how the Lions fare this week. So, of course, for the point spread entering this game, Detroit are once again heavy favorites for this game against Green Bay, as Detroit enters as 7.5-point favorites over Green Bay. So, effectively 8 points. So, Detroit's effectively favored by a touchdown. So, yeah, Green Bay, they lead the all-time series over Detroit 105-76-7. However, Detroit has won the last 4 meetings against the Packers this year, including the meeting up in Lambeau earlier this year, when that stadium got overrun and dominated by Lions fans back in Week 4 earlier this year on the Thursday night game. Green Bay this year, they are 1-4 on the road this year, so the Packers have struggled on the road. Like, the Packers' only road win this year came in Week 1 against the Bears. But then again, it's the fucking Bears, so that's not really surprising and not much to say there. And Detroit is 4-1 at home this year. So yeah, for the Packers' key players, I went over the key players back all the way to Week 4. So if you want to know what the Packers' key players are, go back to the Week 4 preview. I have a playlist of all my previews and recaps and all that. So yeah, go to the previews playlist, scroll through until you find Lions, Packers 2023-2024 Week 4 preview. Watch that video and then come all the right back. I'll give you a few seconds. Okay, you back yet? All right, I gave you your time. I gave you 5 seconds. But yeah, of course, we're going to go over the injuries now. I mean, the one key change to the roster is that the Packers no longer have Rasul Douglas, as the Packers stripped him off to Buffalo at the trade deadline. But in terms of injuries, the Packers actually have a lot of players on the injury report. You can almost, like if Lions were about as banged up, you could almost call this an injury bowl, but the Lions aren't nearly as banged up as the Packers, though. So, of course, on the injury report, running back Aaron Jones, Aaron Jones, as I call him, is questionable with a knee injury. Their other running back, A.J. Dillon, is questionable with a groin injury. So, yeah, if both of them can't play, that's a big blow to the Packers, especially with the run game. Wide receiver Christian Watson is questionable with a shoulder injury. In terms of D-line, Kenny Clark is questionable with a shoulder injury. Rashawn Gary is also questionable with, you guessed it, a shoulder injury. Damn, a lot of shoulder injuries. Jesus Christ. Linebacker De'Vondre Campbell is questionable with a neck injury. Corner Eric Stokes is questionable with a not questionable. He's on the IR currently with a hamstring injury. Jair Alexander is questionable with another shoulder injury. Jesus Christ, how many shoulder injuries are on this fucking list? God damn. Like, literally, I got injury, shoulder. Jesus Christ. And the final player, safety Darnell Savage, is on the IR with a calf injury. No changes to the coaching staff since Week 4. Only real changes to the Packers is the rankings on offense and defense. The Packers' offense is now ranked 21st. They're 19th in the pass game at 21st in the run game. Packers' defense has been mid-pack. Their defense is the 16th ranked defense in the league. They're top 10 unit against the pass, ranked 7th against the pass. But their Packers' defense cannot stop the run as they're 28th against the run. So I think the big key to win the game is you got to establish the run game. You know, feed Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery the ball. You just feed them the ball and run it down the Green Bay's throat. You know, control the time of possession. Pretty much do what Chicago did to the Lions last week, but this time finish the job and don't blow a double-digit lead. Pretty much whatever the Lions did in Week 4, you got to do that game plan again, even though Green Bay's going to definitely make some adjustments to it. So, yeah. And I think you got to get pressure to Jordan Love and contain him. You know, get pressure him, make him fold. You know, stuff to run. You know, get some pressure to Love. Pretty much whatever the Lions did Week 4, you do that again. Just make the necessary adjustments you need. And this time, don't try and blow a 27-3 lead. But yeah, Detroit just got to do what they did week 4, and steal the job. Because for the Lions, it's been a long time since the Lions won on Thanksgiving. Like, the last time the Lions won on Thanksgiving was back in 2016 against the Vikings. Of course, ironically, the last time the Lions and Packers played on Thanksgiving back in 2013, the Packers didn't have Aaron Rodgers in that game, just like this one. Yeah, the Packers had Matt Flynn because 2013, that was when Aaron Rodgers went down with that collarbone injury for majority of the season. And oh yeah, you know how the Lions did that game? The Lions won handily in that game in 2013 against the Packers on Thanksgiving. As Detroit won that game 40-10. Of course, Detroit got off to a slow start in that game. They fell down 10-3. And then Detroit rallied to score 37 unanswered points. But yeah, and of course, the point spread is everything you need to know because Vegas knows what we all know. And that is the Green Bay Packers ain't shit without Aaron Rodgers. It's been clear as day all year. As the Packers are barely trying to stay above the Bears in the NFC North basement. So yeah, the Lions need to go out there and do their business. And, big week for the Lions. Because they got to win this game for sure. Especially on Thanksgiving. The whole nation watching for Thanksgiving and America's biggest holiday. It's arch rival Green Bay. You have a chance to sweep the Packers for a second year in a row. I'll be honest, out of all the Thanksgiving games since I started doing YouTube videos, this is the one I have the most confidence in winning. Like, I think Detroit should win this game, no problem. I don't see how Detroit possibly could lose. A lot could happen any given Sunday. For fuck's sakes, the Lions nearly blew it against the Bears last week. But Green Bay is not the Bears. Everybody matches up differently against everyone else, any given Sunday. Or in this case, any given Thursday. Detroit's just got to do their job, do what they did week 4. And Detroit will, if Detroit does what they did in week 4 to the Packers, they should sweep Green Bay with ease. And Ford Field going to be loud as hell this year because, yeah, Packer fans are talking about invading this game, Ford Field, for Thanksgiving. Because Packer fans couldn't accept the fact that Detroit invaded the stadium, which was payback and karma for all those times Packer fans invaded Ford Field for the last decade or so. And Green Bay fans can't accept that they got what was coming to them. Yeah, because, Packer fans were getting so hurt that the Lions are not a top dog in the NFC North because out of any team they wanted to dethrone Green Bay, Detroit was the last one they wanted. Probably either them or the Chicago. All I say is a lot of Packers, Bears, and Vikings fans. Point to me on this Bulbasaur where the Detroit Lions and the Lions fan base hurt you. Point on this Bulbasaur where the Lions hurt you. Please and thank you. So we can understand what we did to make you all cry like little bitches that the Lions are 8-2. All I say is 8-2, top of the North. Stay mad, bitches. But yeah, honestly, I can't stand the Packers. The Lions need to win this game. Sweep Green Bay for the second year in a row and humble the Packers fan base. But yeah, I think Detroit should win this game. I got Detroit winning 21-19. Yeah, I got Detroit by 2 over the Packers. So yeah, I think it's going to be a bit closer than week 4. I think Green Bay is going to make some adjustments and keep it close. Because Green Bay is going to do everything in their power to make sure Detroit doesn't sweep the Packers. I think Green Bay will try, but I think Detroit will sweep them again. It just depends on who makes better adjustments from the week 4 game. Detroit definitely needs to win this week because I know for a fact we're not getting help from Chicago this week. Since Minnesota's playing the Bears on Monday Night Football later this week. So, yeah. And we already know the Bears are going to intentionally drop that game to Minnesota. Just try and screw Detroit over after last week. Yeah, they're going to tank. But, yeah. So yeah, we got to handle our business. Get this win and stay up 2.5 games above Minnesota in the NFC North race. Since next week, Minnesota goes on the bye. And Detroit needs to be as far ahead as possible ahead of the Packers the Vikings entering that bye week. But yeah, Detroit. Detroit, let's go get this win, go to 9-2. And if Detroit goes to, and ironically, the last time Detroit started 9-2 was 1962. And oh, by the way, and that was also the last time the Lions started 8-2. Oh, by the way, who did the Lions play on Thanksgiving in 1962? It was the Packers. And the Lions beat the Packers 27-14 that year to go to 9-2. Is it a strange coincidence with 1962 all of a sudden? Kind of weird, isn't it? But yeah, let's go get this win. Let's go beat the Packers because the Packers ain't shit without Aaron Rodgers. I'm out.